Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Today, I want to talk about a theme that resonates deeply within each of us, the importance of letting go and finding happiness in our own company. In our fast-paced world, we often feel the pressure to cling to relationships, whether they be friendships, romantic partnerships, or family ties. We convince ourselves that our worth is tied to the people we surround ourselves with. But what if I told you that true happiness begins when we learn to let go and embrace solitude? Letting go is often perceived as a daunting task, filled with uncertainty and fear. It requires us to confront our deepest insecurities and acknowledge that sometimes we must release the people or situations that no longer serve our growth. This can apply to friendships that have run their course, romantic relationships that stifle our potential, or even family dynamics that create emotional turmoil. The courage to let go does not mean we dismiss the value of these connections. Rather, it acknowledges the reality that not every relationship is meant to last. The first step in this journey is recognizing the emotional toll that clinging to unhealthy relationships can take. When we hold on to connections out of fear of being alone, fear of the unknown, or fear of change, we deny ourselves the opportunity to explore new paths and experiences. This realization is not easy. It requires us to be honest with ourselves and assess how these relationships impact our well-being. It's important to remember that letting go is an act of self-respect. We deserve relationships that nurture our spirits and challenge us to become our best selves. When we have the courage to let go, we're not only prioritizing our own needs, but also honoring the truth that growth sometimes requires a shift in our social landscape. This shift can be painful, and it may feel as though we're losing a part of ourselves, but it can also open the door to new possibilities and opportunities for connection that align more closely with our authentic selves. Moreover, the act of letting go empowers us to reclaim our narratives. We often allow others to define our identities through their perceptions and expectations. By releasing those who do not support our journey, we begin to take ownership of our own stories. We redefine our worth and our boundaries, allowing us to move forward with clarity and intention. As we develop the courage to let go, we may also experience moments of self-doubt. We might question whether we made the right decision or fear the repercussions of our choices. This is a natural part of the process. Embracing discomfort is crucial, as it teaches us resilience. We learn to navigate through feelings of grief or regret, ultimately emerging stronger and more self-assured. The act of letting go is not a one-time event, it's a continuous practice. It invites us to regularly assess our relationships and their impact on our lives. As we grow and evolve, we must be willing to evaluate what we need and who supports our journey. This courage requires vigilance and self-reflection, but it also fosters a deeper understanding of ourselves. Redefining our worth is a profound journey that begins with understanding that our value is not contingent upon external validation or the approval of others. For many of us, societal norms and cultural expectations shape our self-image and self-esteem, leading us to believe that our worth is determined by our relationships, achievements, or even our appearance. However, the truth is that our inherent worth exists independently of these factors. To embark on this journey of redefinition, we must first confront the messages we've internalized throughout our lives. From a young age, we may have been taught that our success is tied to our performance, be it in school, in our careers, or in our personal relationships. These beliefs can create a perpetual cycle of seeking approval, where our self-worth fluctuates based on others' opinions and the outcomes of our endeavors. Breaking free from this cycle requires us to recognize these patterns and question their validity. One of the key components of redefining our worth is embracing self-acceptance. This means acknowledging our strengths and weaknesses without judgment. It's about understanding that being human involves imperfection and that we do not need to strive for an unattainable ideal to be worthy of love and respect. Practicing self-acceptance involves treating ourselves with kindness and compassion, especially in moments of failure or disappointment. As we learn to accept ourselves, we also begin to cultivate self-awareness. This involves reflecting on our values, passions, and what truly matters to us as individuals. When we clarify what we stand for and what brings us joy, we can begin to align our actions and choices with our authentic selves. This alignment reinforces our sense of worth as we start to live according to our true values rather than societal expectations. Another important aspect of redefining our worth is setting boundaries. When we understand our value, we become more adept at recognizing what we deserve in our relationships and interactions. This means having the courage to say no to situations or people that do not honor our worth. Setting boundaries is an expression of self-respect. It signals to ourselves and others that we are committed to maintaining our well-being. Moreover, redefining our worth involves letting go of comparison. In a world driven by social media and constant connectivity, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring ourselves against others. However, comparison often breeds discontent and undermines our sense of self-worth. Instead, we should celebrate our unique journeys and recognize that everyone has their own challenges and victories. Shifting our focus from comparison to gratitude for our individual experiences can help us appreciate our worth on a deeper level. As we redefine our worth, it is also essential to engage in practices that nurture our self-esteem. This might include pursuing hobbies that excite us, surrounding ourselves with supportive and uplifting people, or seeking professional help if needed. Engaging in activities that bring us joy reinforces our sense of worthiness and empowers us to view ourselves through a positive lens. Finally, redefining our worth is a lifelong process. It requires ongoing reflection, growth, and self-discovery. As we evolve, our understanding of our worth may shift, and that's okay. Embracing this fluidity allows us to adapt and continue building a sense of self that is resilient, authentic, and deeply rooted in our intrinsic value. Embracing solitude is a transformative practice that allows us to connect with ourselves on a deeper level. In a world that often glorifies constant connectivity and social interaction, taking time for ourselves can feel counterintuitive. However, solitude provides a unique opportunity for introspection, growth, and self-discovery, enabling us to cultivate a profound understanding of who we are beyond the noise of daily life. At its core, embracing solitude means creating space for ourselves to reflect without distraction. It allows us to step away from the demands of work, relationships, and societal expectations, giving us the chance to tune into our inner voice. In solitude, we can explore our thoughts, feelings, and desires without the influence of others. This process of reflection fosters a greater sense of clarity about what truly matters to us and what we want to pursue in our lives. One of the most significant benefits of solitude is the opportunity for self-discovery. When we're alone, we can engage in activities that spark our creativity and passions, whether that's writing, painting, hiking, or simply sitting in nature. These moments of solitude often lead to insights and ideas that we might not have encountered in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. As we explore our interests and express ourselves freely, we gain confidence in our identity and learn to appreciate our unique perspectives. Moreover, embracing solitude can cultivate emotional resilience. In solitude, we confront our feelings, both positive and negative, without the need to mask them for the comfort of others. This confrontation allows us to process emotions like sadness, anxiety, or anger, rather than pushing them aside or seeking validation from external sources. By acknowledging and working through our emotions, we build the strength to navigate challenges with greater ease, ultimately leading to a more balanced emotional state. In addition to emotional resilience, solitude can enhance our mindfulness and presence. When we're alone, we can focus on being present in the moment. We can practice mindfulness techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, or simply observing our surroundings. This practice of mindfulness helps ground us and encourages us to appreciate the simple joys of life. It enables us to cultivate gratitude for the present, fostering a sense of peace that often eludes us in our busy lives. Another crucial aspect of embracing solitude is recognizing that it is not synonymous with loneliness. Loneliness is often characterized by a feeling of emptiness or a longing for connection, whereas solitude is a choice that empowers us. By consciously choosing to spend time alone, we reclaim our autonomy and prioritize our well-being. This distinction allows us to enjoy our own company and develop a fulfilling inner life. Additionally, embracing solitude can improve our relationships with others. When we take the time to understand ourselves better, we become more equipped to engage in healthier, more meaningful relationships. We learn to set boundaries, communicate our needs, and appreciate the time spent with others without relying on them for our happiness. This newfound sense of self enables us to enter relationships from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. Furthermore, solitude offers a respite from the constant comparisons and judgments that often arise in social situations. It allows us to shed the pressures of trying to fit in or meet societal standards. In this space, we can embrace our quirks, flaws, and unique traits, celebrating our individuality without the fear of external scrutiny. Cultivating self-compassion is a vital practice that empowers us to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer to a friend. In a society that often prioritizes achievement and perfectionism, many of us fall into the trap of self-criticism, judging ourselves harshly for our perceived failures or shortcomings. However, self-compassion invites us to shift our mindset from one of judgment to one of acceptance and care, fostering emotional resilience and promoting overall well-being. At its core, self-compassion consists of three main components: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Self-kindness involves treating ourselves with warmth and gentleness, especially during challenging times. Instead of berating ourselves for mistakes or setbacks, we learn to respond with understanding, recognizing that everyone makes errors and that these moments do not define our worth. This practice encourages us to embrace our imperfections and approach ourselves with a nurturing attitude. The second component, common humanity, helps us recognize that suffering and personal inadequacy are part of the shared human experience. When we face difficulties, we can often feel isolated, thinking that we are the only ones struggling. However, acknowledging that others experience similar challenges creates a sense of connection and belonging. This perspective allows us to step back from our self-critical thoughts, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles and that experiencing pain is a universal part of being human. Mindfulness, the third component of self-compassion, encourages us to be present with our thoughts and feelings without judgment. It involves acknowledging our emotions without suppressing or exaggerating them. When we practice mindfulness, we create a safe space to observe our thoughts and feelings as they arise, enabling us to respond to them with curiosity rather than criticism. This awareness helps us avoid the pitfalls of over-identifying with our emotions, allowing us to recognize that feelings are transient and do not define our identity. Cultivating self-compassion also involves recognizing and challenging negative self-talk. Many of us have an inner critic that is harsh and unforgiving, perpetuating feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. By becoming aware of this critical voice, we can begin to reframe our thoughts, replacing harsh judgments with compassionate reminders of our worth and humanity. This process of reframing requires practice and patience, as it can be deeply ingrained in our behavior, but over time it can lead to profound shifts in how we perceive ourselves. One practical way to cultivate self-compassion is through self-care practices. Engaging in activities that nurture our well-being, such as exercise, meditation, journaling, or spending time in nature, signals to ourselves that we are worthy of care and attention. These practices allow us to recharge emotionally and physically, reinforcing the belief that we deserve kindness both from ourselves and others. It's also important to recognize that self-compassion does not equate to complacency. Some might fear that being kind to ourselves will lead to a lack of motivation or accountability. However, self-compassion actually fosters a more productive mindset. When we treat ourselves with understanding, we are more likely to acknowledge our mistakes and learn from them without falling into a cycle of shame. This encourages growth and development, allowing us to strive for improvement while maintaining a sense of self-worth. Additionally, cultivating self-compassion can significantly enhance our relationships with others. When we practice self-compassion, we develop a greater capacity for empathy and understanding towards others. We become more patient and forgiving, recognizing that everyone faces struggles and hardships. This shift creates deeper connections and fosters healthier relationships as we approach others with the same kindness we offer ourselves. The power of vulnerability is a transformative concept that invites us to embrace our authentic selves, connect more deeply with others, and foster resilience in the face of adversity. Vulnerability is often perceived as a weakness or a liability, leading many of us to build emotional walls to protect ourselves from pain and rejection. However, true strength lies in the willingness to be vulnerable, acknowledging our imperfections, fears, and uncertainties while allowing ourselves to be seen for who we truly are. At its core, vulnerability is about openness and the courage to share our innermost thoughts and feelings, even when there is a risk of judgment or failure. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we invite others into our experiences, fostering authentic connections that go beyond surface-level interactions. These connections are essential for our emotional well-being, as they create a sense of belonging and acceptance that is fundamental to the human experience. Embracing vulnerability can be particularly powerful in our relationships. When we share our struggles, fears, and aspirations, we invite others to do the same, creating a safe space for open communication and mutual understanding. This exchange of vulnerability fosters intimacy and trust, deepening our connections and reinforcing the idea that we are not alone in our challenges. It allows us to see others not just as companions, but as fellow travelers on the journey of life, each facing our own trials and tribulations. Moreover, vulnerability is a catalyst for personal growth. When we confront our fears and step outside of our comfort zones, we open ourselves up to new experiences and opportunities. This willingness to take risks is often what leads to our most significant breakthroughs, whether in our personal lives, careers, or creative endeavors. For example, a person may feel vulnerable when expressing their ideas in a meeting or sharing their art with others. Yet, it is through these acts of vulnerability that we often find our true voice and the confidence to pursue our passions. In addition to fostering connections and growth, vulnerability is a key ingredient in resilience. Life is full of challenges, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed or defeated when we encounter setbacks. However, embracing vulnerability allows us to acknowledge our emotions and process our experiences more effectively. Instead of bottling up our feelings or pretending that everything is okay, we learn to lean into our discomfort and seek support from others. This approach helps us build resilience as we gain the tools and insights needed to navigate future challenges with greater ease. Furthermore, the power of vulnerability extends beyond our individual experiences to influence broader societal change. When we openly share our struggles and challenges, we contribute to a culture of authenticity and empathy. This shift encourages others to embrace their vulnerabilities, creating a ripple effect that fosters understanding and compassion. In a world often characterized by comparison and competition, vulnerability serves as a reminder that we are all human, facing our unique battles and deserving of kindness. It's essential to recognize that vulnerability is not an all-or-nothing endeavor. It can be practiced in small, manageable ways, allowing us to gradually build our capacity for openness. This might involve sharing a personal story with a close friend, expressing our feelings to a partner, or taking a creative risk by showcasing our work. Each act of vulnerability reinforces our sense of self-worth and fosters deeper connections with others. Inspiring others is a powerful and transformative act that goes beyond simply motivating people. It involves fostering an environment of authenticity, encouragement, and mutual growth. When we inspire others, we ignite their potential, encouraging them to embrace their unique paths, confront their challenges, and pursue their passions. This process creates a ripple effect, fostering a culture of empowerment and resilience that benefits not only individuals but also communities as a whole. At the heart of inspiring others is the practice of authenticity. When we live our lives openly and honestly, we create a space for others to do the same. Our willingness to share our stories, including our struggles and triumphs, serves as a reminder that everyone has their own journey. This transparency fosters a sense of connection and belonging, encouraging others to embrace their true selves. When we model authenticity, we empower those around us to shed their masks and engage with their own vulnerabilities, paving the way for genuine relationships and meaningful interactions. Furthermore, inspiring others often involves sharing our experiences and the lessons we've learned along the way. By openly discussing our challenges, failures, and successes, we provide valuable insights that can guide and motivate others on their journeys. This storytelling creates a relatable context for individuals, showing them that they are not alone in their struggles and that resilience is attainable. Our experiences become a source of inspiration, illustrating the potential for growth and transformation, regardless of the obstacles we face. Another crucial aspect of inspiring others is recognizing and celebrating their strengths and achievements. By acknowledging the efforts and accomplishments of those around us, we foster an environment of support and encouragement. This recognition not only boosts confidence, but also reinforces the idea that each person's contributions are valuable and appreciated. Celebrating others' successes creates a sense of community and motivates individuals to continue striving for their goals. Knowing that their efforts matter.as, we reflect on the power of letting go, embracing solitude, cultivating self-compassion, and inspiring others. We realize that these are not just individual practices, but interconnected threads that weave together the fabric of a fulfilling life. Each of us has the capacity to redefine our worth, connect with our true selves, and create spaces where vulnerability is celebrated and authenticity flourishes. Let us carry these insights into our daily lives, fostering an environment where we not only embrace our own journeys, but also uplift those around us. By showing kindness to ourselves, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, and inspiring others through our actions and words, we create a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate circles. Together, we can cultivate a world where connection, compassion, and courage thrive. So I invite you to take a moment today to reflect on how you can embrace these principles in your own life. Whether it's reaching out to someone in need, taking time for self-reflection, or allowing yourself to be seen in your vulnerability, remember that each step you take towards authenticity is a step towards creating a more connected and compassionate world. Thanks you.